Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So it's that time of week again. It's our usual Friday night live. I hope everyone's keeping well. I hope everyone's good out there. So instead of streaming on YouTube and TikTok today, I thought I'd try something a little bit different. I thought I'd try an Instagram live. So let's see who comes and joins us on Instagram. It's a new one for us. I've never done an Instagram live before, so bear with me if I don't catch all your comments and I don't catch all your hellos and stuff. Oh, we've got a couple of people. How are you both doing? Hope you're all keeping well. So Graham, you're over on YouTube. Hope you're keeping well, bro. Hope everything's good with you. So yeah, so wa alaikum assalam. How are you doing? I hope everyone's good. So the theme of tonight's live is going to be about planning. So we've got a couple of things going on. We've got a cold snap happening in the next week or so. And for those of us that have sowed, so those of us who have sowed our plants, especially if you're outside, they might be subject to some of that cold snap, and you might have to worry about that. So Ismail, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, mashallah. So we've got a few people over on Instagram saying hello. Let me do this wavy thing. Oh, that's a nice feature there. It's kind of hard concentrating on both comments at the same time. But Pizzle, wa alaikum assalam. Chase, Mad Dog, Moz, Zoe, Karen, and Alan. Hello to you all. We've got Andrea, we've got Taz, on who else have we got over on Instagram? Nature on the Mind, and a few other people. Let's see who else is here. Hope you're all keeping well. So I'm planning on picking up 300 bags of alpaca manure tomorrow. Oh man, wicked, absolutely fantastic. Oh, you're gonna be loving that. So there you go. You're on the theme of planning already. So we've got a couple of things. We've got this cold snap happening. So if you've sowed seedlings outside, you want to think about protecting them. So if you've got something that like most things, that are growing outside right now, for me are going to be fine because I've grown onions. I've got garlic outside in the ground. I've got onions in my greenhouse. I've got broad beans and I've got peas. They can tolerate a slight frost. If it's too cold, excuse me, they'll struggle, but they'll tolerate a slight frost, and they should be okay. So Atia, planted by Aaron over on Insta. How are you keeping? So yeah, but if anyone saw the article, there was an article in the Guardian a couple of days ago. I shared it on Facebook and I shared it on Twitter, and this February has been the driest February for a very long time. And well, the argument of the article is that this is going to be, there's going to be potentially a drought happening in the coming year. Now, normally what happens this time of year is all the rain comes down during winter, fills the reservoirs, fills the aquifers, fills all the places of, fills all the streams and everything that we're going to get our water from for the rest of the year. Now, if that rainfall's not there, the rest of the year is going to be pretty dry. So you know how it was last year. Last year we had a massive heat wave and a drought, and because of that drought, a lot of our gardens struggled, a lot of our plants struggled. So we're going to have the same sort of thing this year, I think. But I don't know. I can't predict the heat, but there's a good indication that there's going to be a drought happening because we just haven't had enough rainfall through the winter to fill our reservoirs. So we've got to start thinking about what we're going to do. So if you've got tanks, ICBs, water boats, you better get those filled. You better get those filled when any chance you get. Get them filled, get them stored. Use cover crops or use some kind of mulch to protect the soil, protect the water in your soil. Keep it in the ground. Don't let it evaporate. Yeah, so there's a lot of things, there's a lot of measures that we've got to put in place to to think about what's going to happen this year. So who else have we got over on YouTube? We've got Caravan Kid, Mad Dog, Karen, Alan staying in bed. Are you staying in bed all day today or tomorrow? It's a bit late. You should be in bed already. Nazim, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Douglas, hope you're keeping well. Is it good to plant ginger now? Absolutely, but you're gonna have to keep it warm. So get it started now. Get your shoots going. Keep it in the house until it's going to be absolutely frost free and it's going to be quite warm outside, and then you can get your ginger planted outside. But if you look at my method of planting ginger, just get one piece, get it sprouted, use the ice to sprout it, and you can get multiple plants growing. So from one piece of ginger, you can get 3 or 4 plants growing, and then from that one piece, you're going to have that much more ginger. And fresh ginger is always absolutely amazing. So give them a wave. Who else is over on Instagram? There's very few comments over there. It's so true that had no rain in Manchester. So we've had absolutely hardly any rain this month. Yesterday it rained a little bit. A couple day before that it spat a little bit, but hardly anything. So it's been really, really dry. So we're going to see those reservoirs really dry up really quickly. So who's coming on? We've got Bobby. How are you keeping, mate? Dandy Mum. Hope you're keeping well. Graham, but absolutely, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. Yeah, absolutely. So every time I have to, hit it before I started, there you go. So I'm going to be sleeping tomorrow. Will you be selling seeds? Will I be? I don't normally sell seeds. I'll do some giveaways of seeds very soon. Probably next week when I open my bottle gourd. Yeah. But I did a few giveaways of seeds. I know there's a few people on Facebook that have already requested some bottle gourd seeds. So let's see. I'm gonna go through who's asked for seeds, and I'll get you some posted out. It ain't raining in Northern Ireland either. It's just not rained at all this year. It seems like a really dry autumn and a really dry winter. They're predicting snow for next week, potentially. Let's see. It hasn't snowed all winter either, so let's see what happens. So love your family oriented. See, that's what we try and promote. I mean, there's very, because of I have a really busy schedule, so I'm working, then I'm teaching in the evenings, and then at weekends we've got the garden to do. So I want as many people involved from the house as possible, just so, because we'll need that time together. You know, you need that time together. You need to be able to be doing stuff together, getting active together, and it just allows you to build, you know, have that father child relationship, husband wife relationship, do all that sort of thing, but at the same time do something that you enjoy. And we do that when we're going out as well, you know, when we go out on days out. So I personally like the sort of adventure days, you know, going out, doing a little bit of bushcraft. On that topic, I had a concerning phone call from school yesterday. I picked up a wheelie bin today to use as a water, but fantastic. We've got a brown wheelie bin, and I've never used it for garden waste. Our brown bin's supposed to be for garden waste. I've used that for a wheelie bin for a water butt for a long time. Ask me after 300 bags of manure tomorrow. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, Bobby, I'll get you some over, man. Rizwan, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Can you recommend good potting soil to start seeds up indoors? Also, when do you tend to give the grass a first cut? So normally, I use for my potting mixes. I use a mix of my homemade compost and sharp sand. That's basically my seed starting mix. And then when I'm potting those plants up into bigger pots and they're more established, then what I'm doing is I'm taking that sort of homemade compost, used leftover compost, adding some fresh compost and much rougher kind of material and using that to plant in. But if you're buying stuff in, I wouldn't know, to be honest, right now. I've seen a lot of the I've seen a lot of the available compost on sale to be really poor quality. So in terms of recommending one, I can't really do one. I might, if you want, I might do a comparison between some of the shop bought composts. There's some of the readily available ones. Those are, if anyone's on Twitter, you'd have seen this big Twitter spat between Bob Flowerdew and a load of other people. They just did a big pile on to him. He did this experiment, right, where Bob Flowerdew, he used to be on Gardener's World. He does the Gardener's Question Time, that kind of thing, that kind of guy. And he did this experiment using peat-free compost, homemade compost, and some other peat compost. And the peat-free compost was just nowhere near performing as well. And because he put that picture on, and the subsequent comments explained what he was doing, and his argument was that peat-free needs to improve. The quality is just not there. No one bothered to read the second or third tweet. What they did was they just looked at the first picture and they just went all over him and just had a go at him for apparently advocating the use of peat. Now, that's not what he was doing. I mean, I do the same kind of experiments. I'll buy shop bought compost, even though I don't need to buy shop bought compost, but I'll do it just so I can answer this kind of question. I haven't had the chance to buy any yet, but I will. I'll buy some and have a look at what they're like. But yeah, I mean, the way that people just piled onto him was absolutely ridiculous. Jenny, thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Enjoy your really interesting, informative videos. I'm glad you enjoy them. Tanvir, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. A council compost any good? I don't know. I think it can be quite variable. Sometimes you can get some really good compost. Sometimes the problem is that it can contain a lot of pesticides and herbicides and that kind of thing. And if it does that, then you've got a problem. The no dig way. So Aaron, the way I do the way I plant potatoes is I grow mine in wood chip. So you can use the same sort of technique if you're using no dig potatoes. To be honest with you, there's no such thing as absolutely no dig potatoes because it's a root crop. So whether you dig with a fork or a spade or whether you dig with your hands, there's going to be some kind of movement of the soil. Now the way I do it is I'll sort of push my potato into the soil and it'll be covered in a foot of wood chip. Whereas if you were doing it with compost, then you push your potato into the soil and just cover it with loads of with compost. When you pull your potatoes, you're going to have to remove that compost. You're going to have to dig down and get whether you use your hands or whether you use a fork or whatever you use, you're going to have to get those potatoes out. So to say that no dig potatoes is an actual thing is not. It's not a thing like that. But there is some amount of movement of the soil involved. I'm looking for good compost supply. Any suggestions? Anyone ever tried Dandies? Someone sent me a link for Dandies. I looked at the price and I thought, nah, no, thank you. I was just planning because it was something like £18 for 40 litres, and I was like, whoa, that's a bit expensive. I've just planted seeds first time today when I noticed them sprouting. So also saw white mold soil, little shoots. Jenny, I wouldn't worry. If your plants are looking fine, don't worry about it. If you're getting mold on the surface of the soil, mostly it's okay. The only time that it can be a bit of a problem is if it gets around the base of the plant. In that case, just disturb the surface of the soil and be careful of overwatering, because overwatering is the thing that causes a lot of mold issues. Guys, we've got 37 people, 27 likes. Let's get that like count up a little bit. people on Instagram don't seem to have the patience. They keep disappearing. They're like the TikTokers. So I've tried the Instagram. I might go back on TikTok because there's a few regulars who like to stick around a bit longer. Oh, that was cheeky.
I did. I'm wearing a skeleton costume.
You're in a skeleton costume. Skeleton costume. There you go. Your mate Zaki Allen's. No microbiology in shop bought compost. That's one of the big problems with that. I only use peat free, always have done, and ones on the market. And no, they're not the best. They really need to improve. Icky, I'm the same. See, I use my own compost. I don't really need to buy shop bought compost.
Look one.
Every now and then I will buy a bag just to see what's out there. I can see your bones.
Yeah, that's just a costume.
We don't have a date for no peat compost, thank goodness. How fresh are your wood chips when you use them? So for potatoes, they can be as fresh as straight off the back of the truck. And it's good if they're a little bit fresher actually, because they're a lot warmer, and because stop that please, you're shaking the camera, and because they're a lot warmer, the potatoes germinate and sprout a lot faster, and then they just start producing a lot earlier. So you get that head start on the season if they're actually a little bit warmer. But remember, what's happening is the potatoes really get, yeah, you will. The potatoes getting its food from the soil, and its roots are going into the soil to grow, and then the tubers are spreading out and growing in the wood chip. And then all you're doing is the wood chip is providing a medium for that potato to grow. Anything that breaks down is feeding the plant. But you have a look on my YouTube, just have a look on the last, I think it's about 2 or 3 videos ago. You'll have a look at my worm system and the way I do all my worm composting.
Why is everybody saying my
Abdul Hadi, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I've got some broad bean seedlings in modules which are almost ready, but worried that they'll be too cold for another week. Just leave them in your greenhouse for another week. Wait till the extreme cold. If there is I don't think it's going to be extreme. I think it says it's going to be about maximum. Yeah, I think it's going to get.
That's a Paw Patrol character.
I think it's going to get to about maximum -2, and if it gets to maximum -2, leave them in the greenhouse. They'll be fine. Once that cold snaps over, get them in the ground if they're big enough. I normally plant broad beans out when they're about 6 inches ish. Don't do that. That's not nice. Bad manners. We have annual drought here in Kansas. Started using biodegradable detergent so I can reuse it. Absolutely beautiful. That's what I like. Yeah, so shower water, bath water, all your grey water, washing up water, all that stuff. I love that. See, I've got a hose that's connected to my kitchen sink, and it just pours out into my garden. MashaAllah, la quwwata illa billah. There you go. Need to feed that guy. I can see his bones. There you go. I'm not feeding you enough, boy. I keep freezing. Do I? Is anyone else having a problem with me freezing? So Anna Abbas, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I planted some chilies in greenhouse, but nothing's growing. Been 2 weeks. Chilies in greenhouse are going to be very cold for chilies to germinate there. They need a temperature of about 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. So you're going to need to put some heat under that soil. So whether you've got them on a radiator, whether you've got them on near on top of a boiler, on top of a skybox, or if you've got a heated propagator, absolutely fantastic. I mean, the heat mats were an absolute game changer for me. They really made a big difference to how fast and how well I could get things germinated. But in the greenhouse, you're going to struggle to get chilies germinated at this time of year without any sort of additional heat source.
I don't on the computer.
I don't have enough garden waste to get enough compost, unfortunately. Chase, what I've done is I found that I don't produce enough garden waste to make compost, so I mulch a lot of stuff. So what I've done is I told my neighbour, now he saved me his Christmas tree. Now I've got his Christmas tree to shred up, and that's going to be some compost. My other neighbour, he collects all his leaves from his garden, and he just he'll bring me like a big dumpy bag of leaves. or anytime people are cutting the hedges, they dump their prunings on my drive. I've got a few buckets dotted around different houses, and when they fill them up with kitchen waste, they're giving that to me as well. So I'm composting a lot of stuff that people are giving me, and in return I give them a few free plants, and they're happy as Larry. Fish tank water, absolutely beautiful, Cheryl. Yeah, I love that. Fish tank water is amazing, especially the good stuff when you wash your filter. When you squeeze the gunk out your filter, that's like rocket fuel. What are you shushing?
I'm trying to say.
Di, how are you doing? Good evening. Not need to be sorry at all. Minnesota midget melons, they're 3 inches tall now. Second set of these. Okay, put them up on the windowsill, and when did I put them in our polytunnel? So I think it's put them up. Personally, I would have sowed them. I would have sowed them about now. So rather, Baba's bald. Yes, Baba's bald. He's got a nice bald head, freshly cut today. Yeah, I would have sowed them about now, and wait, and planted them and taken them. Kept them on the windowsill towards till the end of April.
I'm embarrassed.
So you want a nighttime temperature in the polytunnel of about 10 degrees.
Spicy as well.
So if you can get a nighttime temperature of 10 degrees Celsius, then your plants are going to survive out there. But only when it gets really warmer, then it's going to be really good out there, and they'll take care and you'll take off. Yes, go on, tell them something. Go on, tell them what you want.
This is Octofire.
Octofire. Yeah. Anything else? This is Octofire. What else do you want to tell them?
Angry.
See, Cheryl says she's got 5 tanks. What kind of tanks you got?
Is angry face.
Angry face. Yeah.
This is happy face.
And happy face. Angry face and happy face. There you go.
Even the colours. This is red. This is blue.
And there you go. So you got red and blue. Okay, you happy? Can I speak now? Yeah. Okay. So I planted my chili under the lights with heat mat already up.
He's going to be in tomorrow.
Cheryl, what kind of fish do you keep? Tell us about your fish, because I haven't. Do you know? When my kids started walking, I had to get rid of all my fish tanks. Because I used to. Okay. I used to just keep a lot of magunas, so a lot of Malawi cichlids and rock dwellers, mouth breeders, those kind of fish. I used to love them, but as soon as Toyib and Khadija started walking, they would find anything they could and start whacking the glass on the fish tank. So I got rid of my fish tanks just before they got rid of, before they smashed them.
Look what he said.
Andrea Mack is saying, mate, I just soaked my chili seeds in tea, just waiting for them to see them grow after sowing them on the 23rd. Fingers crossed. Have you got some heat on them? Have you got, yeah, make sure that you've got some good heat, got them on a heat mat or something like that to get them germinated. So, Dilumia wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Hope you're keeping well, brother. My seed trays go on top of fish tanks, get heat. I love that. Yes, buddy. Douglas is saying Octofire is very cool. He likes your Octofire.
The colours.
Cool, Graham. Nice one. Thanks for that. They're 3 inches tall and they're on the windowsill, so pop them out when the temperature is. See, what I'd be tempted to do actually is I'd try and slow the growth rather than, as soon as you pop them up, they're gonna get a massive infusion of food and they're gonna spread really fast. So if I'd try and slow the growth. So delay potting them up a little bit, and then when you pot them up slightly bigger, but don't use loads of nutritious compost. Use some poor quality compost, just so that they don't go off and go whoosh, and they're taking over your whole living room.
Have a hole. Now it's finished. It doesn't have a hole anymore.
Have the sugar rush come. There we go. Garden of Whedon. Stallion Fish Keeping Gardening. iPal just recently found your channel. I'm glad you found it. So we've got another fish keeper there. See, I want to do my pond, you know. Big tank, pond size goldfish, 25 gallon with bristlenose plecos. Another with Corridoras, Endlers, Ember Tetras, or nice tropicals. So South Americans. One with tiger barbs and a hospital tank. Oh, a blind goldfish. Look at that. Grow your own life. How are you doing, man? Long time no see. Hope you're keeping well. I have a 2 5-foot tanks in my favorite fish are convict cichlids. Oh man, convicts. Do you know? I had some convicts. I didn't know much about convicts, so I had loads of nice sort of a nice mixed tropical tank, and I put some convicts in there, and within a couple of days they were just destroying everything. Do you know, they were yeah, absolutely decimated the whole tank within a couple of days. So lesson learned there. They do right with the name. My chili seeds have not germinated a plant on the 18th. Have you got enough heat on them? That's the main thing. That's the biggest thing that stops germination. Do you know what? Sorry to hear about the logs. Do you know what? We've been hit again. So I've been out and bought a camera today because they're doing some petty thefts. They got into my shed and listen to what they stole, right? So my wife bought some vegetable oil. You know, just listen. She does, you know, for cooking.
But I'm telling them.
Yeah, let me just finish. She bought some vegetable oil. You know, 2 5-litre bottles. They're about $8.50 a bottle now. And she bought 2 of them. She went to get one today, and they're both missing. So it's just some little petty things. I'm sure it's someone who knows, you know, who lives close by, knows what we're doing. Dilumia wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Oh, hang on. Well, I've seen that comment. I've seen that comment. I thought. What happened to 6 fruit trees for £30? We just bought the same trees. Could you do I did a follow-up video a couple of weeks ago. So not a couple of weeks ago. At the start of this year, I did a follow-up video. I've done a few follow-up videos. So there are what do you call it? There are progress videos there. Let me can I see the link to it? Let me just see if I can see the video, which one it is. Okay, I'm not gonna go. I can't go looking for it now. I've all sorts of fish all over the years. Do it, mate. I'll sew it. See, the kids are a bit bigger now, so I might be able to get some fish again. Yeah.
Why isn't anyone talking to me?
When I can get
why isn't anyone talking?
Why isn't anyone talking to you? Petty thieves will always be in the rise, is it? I think so, mate. I think people are just struggling. And the thing is, they're taking little things that are essential kind of stuff. So my tomato plant was turned over. I live in Manchester. They think I'm growing weed. Oh no, man.
What do you mean? They think you're growing weed.
They think he's growing drugs. So someone's, yeah. Where hate theft, no need. See, it's just that little pettiness that I don't like. You know, when you go out and you've done all that hard work and then it's all missing. Um, I think we're in for some big stuff. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I looked at the forecast today and they said it's going to be snow showers. Now, snow showers means that it might snow a little bit. But remember, snow in March, it comes like a lion and goes like a lamb.
Big Daddy,
So,
Papa, nobody's talking to me
getting
anymore.
loads of fry in
Papa.
spring. Well, ask them to talk to you and they'll talk to you. My chili seeds from China have not grown. Getting some seeds from India next week.
I really don't like when people don't talk to me.
Well, you ask, you talk to them. You say something to them, and they'll talk to you back. What kind of fry are you getting? My peppers and aubergines haven't germinated yet either. Sown on the 19th, and they're in a propagator. What's the temperature of it? Don't overwater. What's the temperature? I tried your chili and tea method, but they were left for more than 24 hours. That's not a massive problem, but just make sure that you've got enough heat on it. At least 18 degrees Celsius. But they'll come if they've been in for 2 weeks, then they'll be coming. You know, they won't be far away. Just give it a little bit of time. So I have a square pond with circular glass windows. I need to set up outside. Oh yes. I want a bit. I've got a little pond. It's not massive. I mean, the first pond we made out of the kids' old paddling pool, and then I've got this sort of pre-formed pond. What I want to do is that eventually that whole square where they sit on, when I get permission, I want to dig that whole area up. I just need the time, man. I just need the time. I've got a big American Akita. I've got a big American Akita came in the night when dogs. American Akita, is that a type of dog?
I've done that.
There's someone talking to you. Hello, young man. There you go. Someone is watching you, bro. I'll put something in shed to stop. See, I've got a doorbell camera now. So I just need to. I was just before I came on live. I was setting that up, and I just need to fit it to the wall tonight, and then at least we've got a little bit of security. But someone I think is definitely watching us. Koi Friday, some aquaponics in there.
Papa, look.
Made an island. Oh man. See, I got Stallion. You got me excited with the first part of the comment, and then I was like, oh no, I was getting excited, and then the heron sort of ruined it. Zaki? What's your favorite thing to grow in the garden?
No.
Yeah, what's your favorite? Look there. What's your favorite things to grow in the garden, young man?
I already said it.
What did you said?
I said sweet corn.
Sweet corn. There you go. I like growing sweet corn. I've got a couple of overwintered cherry pepper plants.
He's talking to me. That's a joke.
To break out a dome.
Papa, that's a joke.
See, if you've got the space inside, then I'll
Papa,
go for it.
That's a joke.
Okay, just 1 second, because our frost isn't our last frost date is about mid-May, but I'm breaking them out of dormancy and starting to keep them on my windowsill, just to keep them going. Take care, man, and I'll see you soon. So you need to build Zaki a little guardhouse outside.
No, I don't want to sleep outside.
No, you don't have to sleep outside. You have to guard outside, so you have to stay awake.
I don't want to stay awake.
Yeah, do you like the Queen's Guards or the King's Guards now?
No.
You can get your red costume and a pointy silver hat. Or you can stick a broom on your head and that can be a hat.
No.
American do not enter a yard on it. I have a 1 ton bag of couch grass from clearing my new allotment, and it's been in a bag for 2 months and it's not dead. What can I do with it? See, a 1 ton bag's a lot.
More people to talk to me.
See, 1 ton bags are a lot. If you've got the root, the green grass will compost. But the roots, if you got the roots and they're separated from soil, I'd drown them in a big tub of
Somebody
water.
talk to me.
If you can get a big blue barrel, I'd stick it all in there and drown it in water, and then use that rotten.
Nobody
Yeah, let me finish.
talking to
Use
me.
that rotten juice, and then use that for fertilizer. So that's one of the things you could do. Go on, they're talking to you, man.
No,
Have you
no,
got sugar? I haven't got sugar, baby. I'm just I haven't yet. They like bears. I can imagine, man. I like big dogs.
no, look.
The kids want a dog, but the problem is
I don't want a dog. I want a cat.
I don't want to be dealing with all that poo. You're getting a cat. Your cat's coming.
Yay! When is it
What can you do,
tomorrow?
man? No, not tomorrow. Another few weeks yet. What are we doing with my hat? Because my head's getting cold now.
I'm freezing him.
I have a round.
Dad, I'm freezing him.
You're freezing my head. Yeah, it's getting cold. So I have a round pond tub in the yard with a couple of goldfish. I think the cat had one of them when it dragged the netting off. I love the pond. See, what we had some crows that were eating our fish. So we've got some shabunkins. We've got some sriracha goldfish. Yeah, and there were some crows that were just every time the goldfish came up to feed, the crows were just taking them and eating them. They're so clever, crows. What are you doing this weekend, Zaki? Oh, there's a big yawn. There's a question for you. What are you doing this weekend?
Where?
Graham's asking. Moz is asking what you're doing. Will sugar baby melons grow outside? Okay, I'm in
Getting my costume. That's what I'm doing.
If it's a good year, then it might do. If it's really hot, then it might do. But I think you're gonna struggle generally. I think you're gonna need a bit of what do you call it? A polytunnel or some kind of place like that to get the best results for them.
No, we're not growing anything here.
Where's your joke? Because something about the Hulk having two green thumbs.
Look. Is that my name wrong?
Hi, Jackie. What would you call your cat? What would you call your cat?
It has two names.
What's his names?
Luna and Bella.
Luna and Bella. You can't call it Bella. Someone's already got a Bella cat. I tried watermelon last year.
That's half asleep, Chris.
Last year started looking good, but stayed very small.
Half asleep, Chris. That's half asleep, Chris.
Who's half asleep, Chris?
YouTuber. He has a cat called Bella. We're gonna name it Bella.
No, you name it something original. Amna, you can't hear. Can everyone else hear me all right?
All of us can hear you.
Yeah.
All of us can hear you, obviously.
Let's see. What are you growing this year, Zaki? There you go. There's another one. You're growing your sweet corn, but what else are you growing? It's like a black builder's bucket with handles.
Where? I can't see.
I've got some iris, yellow flag iris. I've got some of them in my thing. There. Chase is asking what you're growing this year.
I don't know.
Everyone else seems to be hearing loud and clear.
I don't know, Chase.
My next door's doing maintenance. Load that high face fencing law Akita barking. I'm gonna look. How different is a American Akita to a Japanese Akita?
Papa.
My daughter wants a large pumpkin that I can grow in a pot. What size of pot and what pumpkin? A large pumpkin in a pot.
Nobody else is talking to me.
I won't go for a large one. I'd go for a medium size. Like some of the blue pumpkins. Blue Hubbards are really good one. But there's some smaller blues that you can get, and they're quite good.
I want more people to talk to me.
Or there's
More
the
people
crown.
talk
There's
to
a
me.
dwarf variety of the crown prince as well. That's a good one, but it's not a large pumpkin. It's a smaller pumpkin than a large one. But in a pot, I just think you might struggle a little bit. I think, but it depends on the size of the pot as well. Do you know, like if you've got a pot that's about 30, 40 liters, then you might get away with it.
But nobody else is talking to me.
So everyone else is hearing you. A pink one, a rose queen, I think it is. Oh, that's lovely. I want a pygmy lily. I want a small lily. What's water hawthorn? I don't know water hawthorn.
I didn't have well books today. That
No
was
birds in the
tomorrow.
garden. American is substantially bigger. Wow.
World book wasn't today. World book was yesterday.
See, if we got a dog, it'd be something like a Labrador, wouldn't it?
Papa,
good family.
World book was yesterday. Papa, did you pick me on World?
Did I pick you?
Pick me up on World book.
Yeah, I picked you up. American has a few breeds in it. German Shepherd have to check on my key videos. I'll have a look and see what you're on about. There you go. Nazim is talking to you. Wa alaikum assalam. Did you have World Book today?
No, it was yesterday.
See, the thing is, you couldn't get a vicious dog with these
Papa,
kids around.
I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
I didn't dress up as anyone.
No. See, they didn't do dress up this year because I think people are schools are starting to get it through their heads that people are struggling.
We go in World Book Day. We go in pajamas.
Yeah, so they went in their pajamas this time.
Papa, if you Hulk.
Yeah. Plus lots of floor.
What superhero am I? Which superhero am I?
Which superhero are you? I don't know which superhero are you. If your dad's Hulk, what superhero are you? Which superhero are you? I've grown up Chucky Curry, a few Pervine and Blue Hubbard for one big squash in a pot. See,
superhero I am.
You know, I've grown a Chucky Curry a couple of times. I don't like them.
I want to choose which superhero I am. Can I tell you? Whispering in your ear.
If you need a guard dog, get a Belgian Shepherd dog.
Papa, I want to tell you something. I whisper in your ear. Papa.
Yeah.
I want to tell you. I'm gonna answer.
What?
This.
Which one?
This.
If your dad, go on then, answer it.
And then, you have to guess which. You have to guess which superhero is my favorite.
Oh, you tell them.
No, they have to get it.
Let the key. See, this is the thing, right?
Guys.
Yeah, eyes. Spider-Man, Batman. You stop fidgeting. You just sit still. Sit still, please.
Give me some more answers.
Labrador tails become more dangerous the friendlier the dog is. See, our next door had
Joe is not my favorite.
And you know, these kids would be over there pulling. Did you ever see Jess? Next door's Jess. Zaki, did you see Jess from next door? The spotty dog. Can you remember that? No. So, Tayyib and Khadija would be over there pulling his ears and sticking their fingers in his eye and all sorts. The dog just used to sit there.
Guys, I'm just gonna let out the fire sit on my head.
Go on. I've got a sprocket. They're nuts as anything. Those spaniels. They're absolutely mental. Um, Bye, Nikki. Oh, thanks very much for the super chat. I
You
appreciate
got
it.
it right.
Uh,
You
yeah,
got
I
it
really
right.
appreciate it. Dobermans are good. Dobermans are good. I like Rottweilers as well. Um, my favorite hero.
Papa.
Hey, look, there you go. My favorite superhero is your dad. Hey, there you go.
No.
Yeah.
No, they have to guess it.
No,
One
no.
of my favorites.
Yeah, but I'm his favorite. Eh? No?
You guess which one?
Iron Man. What about me?
Yeah, Hulk.
Miniature schnauzers. Um,
Look. We probably...
Doberman no good with kids.
Papa. Alan, I didn't say which superhero was your favorite.
Yeah, he said his favorite is your dad.
Now,
Maybe with the octopus, you're one of the octonauts. Are you an octonauts?
no.
No. Why?
I'm...
Um,
You
Rottweilers.
guessed it right. You guessed it right.
I can tell she has Springer. Yeah. They're absolutely mental, man. They're funny as anything, though. They're like the happiest dogs in the world, aren't they? They're bouncy as anything. Bought a double Adobe.
I'm
No family
disappearing.
over stranger.
I'm
It's how,
disappearing. I'm disappearing. I'm disappearing, Ted.
never let them look. There you go. See, this is the thing, right? It's like you want a good family dog, but a dog that's going to be all right with, that's going to be,
Now I'm all
you know,
sandy.
good for a guard dog as well.
Now I'm all sandy.
Every summer I've got more. I use an ornamental pond and a fountain. Nothing but coloured stones of water. Can I use that for plants? Do you know? Yes, you can. The simple answer is yes, you can. Now, one of the simplest ways of making really good effective fertilizer, right? So algae water. So if you just take a bit of water and just grow algae in it, and then just use that to fertilize your plants, absolutely fantastic, and it doesn't stink either. Rottweiler is a family and protects your family. Is a family dog.
Can you tell more people to talk to me?
CCTV is not as good as it. Yeah, because then your dog's going to be a proper deterrent. See, someone got robbed. One of my wife's friends got robbed, and what she was saying, what's happened to the camera? We just lost focus.
Blurry.
Yeah, I don't know why it's gone like that. Just sit up. Let's see if we can fix that.
It's Andy.
Why is it just gone so blurry?
I knew it. Blurry.
I don't know why it's just suddenly gone so blurry. It's just, oh, there we go. We're getting focus back again. What I was saying was my wife's friend,
Got robbed.
they got robbed, and the thieves sat in the house and smiled and waved at the CCTV.
I'm not invisible.
I'm a Staffy. If you go back in the back garden, they'll kill you, but a great family dog. I like Staffies. Dogs and gardens. See, it started off on the right track, but this is the thing about our lives. They start off somewhere and they end up all over the place. Because the pond algae water is always yellow. So is that okay? Hey, yeah, but algae water's fine, Algae for water is absolutely fine as a fertilizer. Just remember what you're doing, because when you're using algae water, all you're doing is you're taking live plant material and you're pouring that on your ground, and that's going to break down and feed your plants. So as a fertilizer, it's absolutely fine. Too much of the sort of red blue algae in a water system, it won't be good. But when you're pouring it onto your soil, you're doing it so you kill the algae anyway, and it breaks down and feeds your plants. So in that case, it's a good thing.
I'm
Because the
invisible. Nobody can see me. I'm invisible.
yeah, no one can see you. Just stop fidgeting, man.
I'm
Yeah, I live close
invisible.
to all sorts of dog stand-up pops.
I'm walking everywhere.
See, they're a lot of work as well. That's the only thing, you know. Getting American Akita bond with your family like no one. Yeah, but then you've got to
I'm
have
back.
time to walk it, and then I've got to find another hour every day to go and walk it and do all of that sort of thing. So I don't know. Tony, how are you doing? I hope you're keeping well.
Where is he?
Tony's there, Simplified Gardening.
Where?
There. We're German Shepherd and Rottweiler together, best friends and loved humans and dogs. Plus my two cats, perfect. Oh, wicked. That's nice. How best to get rid of stinging nettles and how best to use soil below it to start growing.
Can somebody talk to me?
See, if you've got stinging nettles and you really want to get rid of them, the only way to get rid of them is to dig them up and make sure you get all of the root system out. They are hard to eliminate completely, but if you dig them up and they sprout back the next year, dig them up again, and you should get rid of them. If you leave a live plant in the ground, it'll keep coming up. But yeah, if once you dig those stinging nettles up, rot them down in some water and use that juice as fertilize your plants. And how to start on the soil, depending on how weed free it is. If it's weed free and it's quite loose soil, then get planting straight away.
More
If it's
people
not,
talk
then
to me.
you might need to work that soil the first year
I'm very
and decide on whether you
bored.
want to keep digging or not, or try
I'm
not digging.
very bored.
Um,
I'm very
you're very
bored.
bored. Do you want to go see your mum and everyone else downstairs?
I want everybody. I want somebody to talk to me.
I'm talking to you. I said, do you want to go downstairs?
I want one of them
You
to
want one of them to
me.
talk to you? Okay, someone talk to him. Why don't you talk to them?
I don't want to. I just want them to ask me questions.
I'm a staffy as well, so we've got a few staffies here. Tony's got one as well. Can you remember the name of the follow-up video of the fruit trees, please, and let me know next time. I'm just looking. I went looking for it, but then it was starting to get too silent on the live stream, so I stopped looking. Where is it?
Guys, is anybody talking to me? Up there.
It might be the winter gardening tips video.
I'm leaving now.
It might be that winter gardening video.
I'm invisible. You can't see me anymore.
Or yeah, I think it's this one. Here we go. I think it's this one. So everyone's asking him questions now, and he's disappeared. There you go. Wanted to know what gypsum is good for. Why do you want to use gypsum? Is your soil? Have you got acidic soil, or are you trying to plant what do you call it? Brassicas, sort of alkaline loving plants. What's your goal? Or have you just got some spare that you want to use? See, normally it's used. Lime is normally used for preparing soil to plant brassicas. So if people are planting cabbages or cauliflowers or that sort of thing, they'll lime it. It's good. It sets the pH right for the plant, and it helps prevent club root and disease like that. So that's the reason that they use it. It's a good way of adding minerals to the soil. But if your soil's already okay, then you might not. You don't really need to use it. So just first check what you need to use it for before you actually buy it to use it. or what you work out what you're trying to do before you try and do it. Right. Well, the chat seems to have frozen. No more comments coming through. Okay. What do you do with your old potting soil from last year? I did a whole video on that, I'll share that. Let's see if I can find you that video. Um, so who asked that? So Legend27. There's your answer. So there's quite a few things in there. Sean, how are you doing? I hope you're keeping well. Glad you could make it. Hope everything's good with you. No problem at all. Right, guys, we've passed the 9 o'clock mark. So I'm going to call it a night here because I still need to go fit this camera to the wall. So, yeah, before it gets too late, before I start making too much noise. But I've got to figure out who this thief is trying to rob my, keep stealing from me. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I probably opened myself up to some danger today. Yeah, I'll talk about it next time. On that note, I'm gonna go hang him from the wall. Tony, if I get him, yeah. They stole my wood. They stole my, cooking oil, man. Big bottles of cooking oil. So let's see. Absolutely, guys. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like, that would be really good. And if you want to do me a favor, please share my channel or share some of my videos on Facebook, on some of your groups, or with your friends. That'll really be helpful. So on that note, I'm going to call it a night. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.